Hey everyone, welcome to episode 27 of Tuesday Tips. So today's going to be a pretty tricky episode on your 5th or your 7th and 8th edges on 5, 6, and 7. Once again, because I'm not as big of a fan of 7 and it takes longer to set up, I'll just be showing this to you on 5 and 6. It's a bit trickier to do on 7x7, but I guarantee it is just as applicable. So kind of the trick here is that you want to, when you're on your 7th and 8th edge on 5 and 6, you want to kind of solve your edges in a way that will allow you to save things during your last 4 edges. If you remember, I made a video in Intermediate Week about how you shouldn't be saving anything in your last 4 edges, and that's true. You shouldn't save anything when it's going to require extra moves. In this case, though, it takes the exact same number of moves, and so obviously if you can save something with the same number of moves, that's always going to be the better scenario. So I'll show you on 5 and 6 first. It took a while to actually set up these examples. They're not the most common things, but they're definitely helpful when they happen. So, that doesn't seem right. What did I do? Okay, so, shoot. Okay. So in the 5x5 example, this actually lends itself to the fact that this is kind of not the greatest. It really shouldn't be that useful because you should kind of be looking far ahead enough to where this wouldn't be a case. While in the 6x6 example, it will actually be forced. But so say you finish your 6th edge, you have 2 more left, and wait, this is your 7th edge. You've now solved 7 edges, and you have one more that you need to solve. And say, oh wow, I'm going to solve green and yellow next. That's nice. So what we can do here is notice how the yellow here, there's already 2 paired up nicely. We can insert this green and yellow in 2 ways, like this, or like this. If we insert it like this, when we pair up the green and yellow, we are guaranteed that this is still going to be correct as we're not slicing this anymore. However, if we do it like this, we can guarantee that this will be incorrect, and this will also be incorrect as they'll both be sliced away. And if these are correct, in theory, if this last edge we're inserting has 2 pieces correct, we can insert it in such a way that they'll be saved. And that's kind of the whole basis of the thing. The thing is, on 5x5, you really should, when you're inserting your last edge, if there's 2 pieces, you should really just look and find the last one, and then insert it in a way where it lines up. In this case, this would be correct. But say that we're inserting this green and yellow, and oh, we should see that this green and yellow over here is now going to be correct, and we should insert it like so to save a flip. That's why on 5x5 this kind of doesn't really, it's kind of a way to save time if you're not looking ahead properly, which in theory is useless, but I found a lot in practice that I'm not looking ahead properly. But so it's kind of something that's sort of helpful, but you should feel bad about it if you use it. On 6x6, however, this will be forced to be useful as it's possible if you insert and there's like 2 pieces solved, it's possible that, let's look at orange and yellow here, orange and white. It's possible that the next 2 pieces, they won't both be in the correct position. You're either going to have to, you will automatically have to do a flip for these last 2 pieces. So in this case, orange and yellow is our 7th edge. In this actual case, we would do green and yellow right here, but we're going to pretend we're doing orange and white for the sake of the setup. I guarantee this actually does happen without there being a better option. This is just kind of a difficult case to set up. So in this case, we can insert the orange and white in 2 ways, like this or like this. If in the first case, when this orange and white eventually becomes solved, we know that the centers are probably going to be all sliced wonky. However, in this case, since the orange and white 2 pieces are solved, matching up with these 2 centers are solved, we know that now when this final edge is done, these 2 will still be solved. And that allows us to save if we have a 2x1 block here, which is very nice. And that's kind of the whole basis of it. Oh man, this is an easy last 4 edge case. Anyways, but yeah, that's kind of the whole basis of the entire tip. So yeah.